guys. So I asked everybody if they'd like kind of an updated breastfeeding video, and a lot of people gave that a thumbs up, so I'm doing that today. I am gonna focus on night feedings and how to get off of them, at least what's worked for me. Tonight's gonna be the 5th night of no nursing at night. Last night was night 4 and he cried for not even 2 minutes. I sat there, I waited, I was preparing to, go in after 5 minutes and checking on him, and he just went back to sleep, and I was like, oh my goodness. That was probably the best night's rest I've had in a while. I don't think it was ever really bad. We've always co-sleeped. I didn't do that with my daughter, but that's how it happened with him. He never wanted to sleep anywhere else, and when he was born, he was always throwing up and then choking on it, and I was so terrified that with him being away from me, he was gonna throw up and I wouldn't hear him. Yeah, so we've always co-slept, and now that he's a year old, I'm like, okay, you need to stay in the crib at night. And so we do a little bit of crying it out. We nurse throughout the day, and what I'm also doing with that is don't ask, don't refuse. So I'm not gonna bring up nursing to him, which I have done a few times. I'm already messing up with that, but for the most part, I don't ask, and I let him let me know when he wants, and if he does, I allow him to nurse. Don't ask, don't refuse. He nurses from like maybe 7 o'clock to 7:30. He stays on for a minute. I don't let him fall asleep. If he's getting ready to fall asleep, that's when I pick him up and I put him in the crib, and he goes down just fine. It's not until about maybe 2 in the morning, 2 or 4 in the morning, when he wakes up crying. And what he was doing, and let me know if you're going through this right now or if you've experienced it, he just went crazy. I was trying to drop feeds, which we did during the day. It was only 3 times a day. And because of that, he wanted to cluster feed throughout the night, and I was like, what is happening? And I mean, he wouldn't even sleep. He'd just been moving and wiggling and thrashing around, and he'd bite my nipple. Oh God, it was crazy, and I wasn't sleeping through the night, and I was like, this needs to stop. I was getting so sleep deprived. I wasn't feeling good because of it. I was getting headaches and I was stressed, and that's just not good on me. If I'm rested, it's better for them because I'm more capable to do the things I need to do as a mom throughout the day. And I get it. I was always against it, but he's a year old. It's different than, in my opinion, making a 6-month-old cry it out. It's just not gonna work. They're too young and they are dependent on you, but he's at the age where he can learn to self-soothe, and it's not damaging to cry for 5 minutes, and he would be fake crying. He wouldn't even be really crying, because the moment he'd see me, there was no tears, and he'd just be like, hey, you gonna pick me up? Wanna say hi to everybody? Wanna say hi? Yeah. Everything's better now? So you just picked him up, and he's gravy. No tears, nothing. He just wanted me to pick him up. Yeah, yeah. You got mommy trained. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So yeah, the first night of trying this, this is, oh my God, this happened all night, where it was like the whole, okay, well, you're gonna cry for a little bit, and just going back and forth, checking on him, more milk, changing diaper, okay, you're changed. But yeah, refusing nursing. That was the only point in time that I was refusing it. I was like, if I keep, letting him know that the moment he cries, I'm gonna, nurse him, and he's just gonna stay up all night, biting me and keeping me awake, no. So the second night, he only woke up twice, and he cried, I think each time was maybe 30 minutes, like, of going back and forth before he gave up, and he was like, okay, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. Realized, I'm not gonna nurse him. Woke up again, did the same thing. And then the third night, he only woke up once and cried for maybe like 30 minutes, and that's, not saying like he sat there and cried by himself. It was going back and forth. And then last night, like I said, he only woke up for like 2 minutes, and then he was just done. And I was like, okay, and I laid there awake for a minute, like waiting for him to, cry again. But yeah, he slept so well and I slept so well, and I'm, you know, really hopeful that tonight is the same. Oh goodness. Yeah. Buzz. No. So yeah, if you are trying to sleep train your baby, you know, or just wean them off of their night feeding, my advice to you is to be persistent. You know, I understand wanting to give in because you don't want them to sit there crying. You feel terrible, and that's just because we're moms and we're wired to be like, crying means you need me. But kids are smart enough to know that if they cry, you're coming to them. So try to give yourself time, do it slowly, don't just rush into it. You gotta make sure that you're comfortable with it and your baby's gonna be comfortable with it. Also, prepare for the fact that you're gonna start to feel kind of like you did in the beginning. I'm starting to get some of those shooting pains every so often, and I'm leaking, like not too much, just barely, but it'll happen. Like I get engorged really fast because you're dropping feedings. Oh goodness. Make sure that you introduce some type of substitute, whether it be like water or regular milk, soy milk, whatever it is you want to do, just to kind of like give them that extra bit of milk if they want it, you know, at night. Yeah, be persistent, prepare for the pains and the engorgement, and, you know, substitutes. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's really it for weaning. You know, set times for yourself as well, like when you want to nurse, and do that slowly but surely. So like my son was feeding maybe 10 times during the day, and that wasn't including night, just during the day. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, I want, you know, at the very least to only be nursing 3 times a day. So when we wake up in the morning, lunchtime, dinner. I still nurse, you know, maybe 4 times, 5 times, depending on how he's feeling. They're fighting. They're fighting. But for the most part, we stuck to it. Well, we still stick to it 3 times a day, and it's gone to the point where he recognizes that schedule. So that really does help. You know, you just have to really sit down, think of what's gonna work best for you, and be okay with trial and error. Be okay with something not working and having to try and do something different, you know. That's how it happened for us, and eventually, believe it or not, it ended up being the night feedings that went, and I thought, oh, I need to leave those alone. Those are probably gonna be the last ones. I think the hardest one for us is gonna be dropping morning feedings, which is fine. I like having that time with him in the morning. That's just him and me, you know, not him playing with sister, going to dad, anything like that. That's our time. And I'm not ready to actually officially quit nursing either. Like I said, it was just for sleep's sake. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be going a little bit deeper into our nursing journey and tips and things like that in another video. I love doing breastfeeding videos. If there's anything specific you'd like to see out of a breastfeeding video, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.